And hello, once again, you all. We are back. Y'all know I like coming in with just a little piece of a tune or music before we start this show. And that song was the Walls Group. Will I be satisfied with you? And God, I am so satisfied with the things you do in my life, Monica. Are you excited today, baby?
I am very excited. Welcome, everyone.
Okay, you said you had something you want to do a little disclaimer before we get started tonight about vote.
I know.
Okay,
I know.
okay.
Welcome, everyone, once again to this lovely Monday, November the 4th. We all know what tomorrow is Election Day.
Yep.
So if you have not voted, please take the time to vote. The kids are out of school, so you shouldn't run into, hopefully not into any traffic.
Yeah, that's a great thing.
And just put that on your agenda to go vote on tomorrow. I chose to do early voting, thank God.
Me as well.
So if you have not, just bear the burden of standing in those lines. If there is a line, but once again, please cast your vote. Your vote does matter. I don't care how insignificant you might think it is, but truthfully, your vote does matter. So all those numbers and 1 + 1 add to 2, keeps going. So hopefully, you all would take this advice and go vote on tomorrow.
There you go. So y'all know how Monday is, y'all. We bring in someone that is super special in this world. We bring in great guests. God has been blessing us to bring in people that have a lot of information, a lot of professionals, a lot of people that are staples in this community, you all. And today, you all, we have a special guest, you all. I'm blessed to have customers like I do, and just real quick, just to let you all know how first I'm gonna give you all her name, and I'm gonna talk a little bit about her. Her name is Tamika Tunstall. Okay, and I pray to me that I said that correctly. But we met through her daughter came and got her hair done, and she brought her daughter in. And when she brought her daughter in, I was like, okay, this is a nice looking family. Okay, met them, but I never knew what Tamika did. I saw her, every time I saw her, she would either have a book in her hand, she would be reading, and I would be like, okay, Tamika must be a very avid reader. She must be into a lot of things. But getting to know her, because we've been knowing each other now about 5 years, and getting to know her, you all, I was really intrigued when she told me what she does for a living. Okay. Now I'm gonna give you all her bio real quick before we jump off into this topic tonight, because believe me, this topic is gonna bless your life, because it's already blessed my life, the conversation that we've had talking about coming up to this day. So y'all, Tamika is a doctor of nursing practice. I want to get that out there. I gave you all her accolades. You all amazing young lady, a graduate of so many different schools, Tennessee State University, Belmont University, Vanderbilt, and the Frontier Nursing University. But we got to get off into this topic, y'all, because the enemy has been trying to destroy what we want to do tonight, because this is such a great topic. So what we're talking about tonight, you all, is holistic mental wellness, a preventive approach. Okay. And Tamika, I'm gonna let you give the introduction and the definition that you gave us tonight, because I think that'd be a great place to start this conversation.
Well, thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to talk about this subject as well. Let's kind of break down what holistic mental wellness means. Holistic care is the treatment of the whole person. It considers the mental health, the social factors, rather than just looking at the symptomatic illness. You know, when you go to the doctor, they're like, you have an earache, and they only want to look at your ear. They don't want to look at your throat or any of that other stuff. They just want to focus on the ear. Holistic care takes the whole person into consideration, and that includes your social factors, sometimes called social determinants of health. The term mental health has become just a catch-all for a variety of mental conditions. And you'll hear it on the news. He was suffering from mental health. Well, if he was suffering from mental health, that means he was well. He was suffering from a mental condition or a mental illness, such as depression, anxiety, substance abuse, bipolar, PTSD, autism, schizophrenia, and ADHD. there are a plethora of illnesses that can affect our mentality. So, also, there's a lot of stigma associated with mental health when we use it as a catch-all phrase. But everyone who has a mental illness does not mean that they're going to go out and do something detrimental to the community. So we got to get away from that stigma.
That is a big stigma that's out there. And when I think about mental health, we've had a couple other guests that we talked about this, but the approach that you brought to me was about a holistic approach. And that's the thing that we did not discuss. We didn't come at it from that approach. Everything that you just gave me about mental health, mental illness, we all know this. We know the stigmas. We know a lot of risks that can come along with it. But I really, 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 really want to talk about this holistic approach. But is there anything else you want to give us before we jump off into that holistic approach?
That's why it's so important to look at how to prevent diabetes. We look at how to prevent cavities, but we don't ever talk about how to prevent exacerbations or mental illness. And it is a process. There are things that we can do every day in terms of being mentally well to help us. We can prevent some conditions and we can lessen the severity of other conditions. So we have to look at a lot of different things. Some things like genetics, environmental factors, you don't have a lot of say over those things, but your lifestyle choices make a huge difference in how much you suffer with any mental illness and for how long you suffer.
So I have a quick question. So with the holistic approach, do you do the holistic as well as still go to your primary care doctor? Can you do both, or should you do either or?
I definitely advocate for holistic approach in conjunction with your primary care doctor. Your primary care doctor is there to look at the individual illnesses and things like that, to draw in and make sure, that your diabetes is well controlled. But there are things that you can do outside of that that really can make a huge difference in your everyday life. As far as mental illness, you go to your primary care doctor, say, for instance, if you're doing all of the things that we're going to talk about today and you're still not sleeping well, then you might need a sleep study. So there are levels to things, and I don't ever advocate for someone to be like, no, I don't ever go to my doctor. I don't need a doctor. I'm only doing holistic stuff, because there's a place for all of that. And moderation is so important. Just like in our diets, we say in moderation, everything in moderation. You can have fats. Avocado is great fat. You can have that, but you don't want to have greasy fried pork chops every day. So moderation is very important. And the same thing goes with making sure that you get that yearly physical from the doctor. You don't know what you're at risk for if you don't go in and get those checkups.
Right.
So holistic care kind of sets a baseline to keep you healthy, but it's important to still see your doctor.
Okay.
You said something, I got to get a little avocados. I eat an avocado just about every day of the week.
Okay.
Is that overdoing it, you think, or... Honestly,
in moderation, everything in moderation. So avocados are great fruits. They're full of lots of healthy fats, and they increase what they call our good cholesterol and help to drive down our bad cholesterol. So one avocado a day, or 4 or 5 a week are fine, but it's not something you want to have a whole avocado at every meal. No, that's overdoing it.
Okay. So you think I'm overdoing it?
No, it's not it's a small avocado.
That's fine.
Okay.
He's trying his best to eat healthy, and it's a challenge because it's a lot of things out there, but you still gotta do it, like you say, in moderation. So so that's why he gets the avocado, because that's something that he likes, and then it's something that you can just slice and go. It's nothing you gotta heat up and different things like that. So I think you're good.
I hope I'm good, because I'm trying my best to live this life the way I need to. Because seriously, me being a diabetic, I'm tired of taking these medicines. Okay, I take a lot of medicines, and I'm tired of taking them because I feel that ever since I started eating better and doing, because I've done it before, I've taken the holistic approach, but you get bored with those things, and you get to a place to where you're like, okay, I'm tired of eating salad, baked chicken, rotisserie chicken, tuna. You get tired of those things, so in that you find yourself, cheating. And when I cheat, and let's talk about that real quick before we get off into these 4 pillars of mental wellness and mental illness preventions. Okay, so what would you think about cheating in your diet or in your meal once a week or so?
Everything in moderation. I don't really call it cheating. My thing is sugar. I love sugar. I know sugar is bad, but everything in moderation. So it's not cheating if I indulge in, one slice of cake on my birthday or something like that. That's not cheating. That's just enjoying life and having one slice of cake. But you have to balance that.
Okay.
You can't just be like, okay, I'm going to eat cake every day and I'm going to eat this bag of candy every day. You have to balance it. You have to exercise to, that's calories in, calories out. You have to balance that. No, I'm taking in extra calories, extra sugar. The sugar is going to make me want more sugar. And so balancing those things is really important. And I have to work on all of this stuff myself.
Okay, so I'm gonna be honest with you, Tamika. I maybe once or twice a week is when I indulge in some maybe greasy foods, maybe some sweets. That's my Friday and Saturday thing. I do that on the weekend. Honestly, your opinion,
Do you, like, when you have a pizza, for say, do you eat the whole pizza or do you have a slice or two of pizza?
About 2 slices, and I sit it down, But
so that's appropriate.
Okay.
In moderation. Like if you say I'm gonna cheat today and I'm gonna have pizza, and then you go and you have pizza for dinner, and then for lunch you have KFC, and for breakfast you go to McDonald's, and then you go and get some ice cream. That's not in moderation.
Okay.
So having those things in moderation is okay. You eat clean 5 days a week.
Absolutely.
One meal of pizza, it's not a bad thing.
Okay.
You can, and you go to church and they have fried chicken. It's okay. But you don't have fried chicken every day.
Right. I've cut the fried chicken out totally, though.
Yeah.
I've stopped eating fried chicken, period. So that's one thing that I have stopped doing.
Yeah.
You look like you got something you want to say.
Okay, so I'm the one that struggles. Like I started last week,
Okay.
and so was it yesterday was our cheat day, and so that little cheating cost me today because now my body wants kind of like what I had on yesterday, and to get back on track, it's like I'm starting from scratch. Whereas when I started, Monday was hard, Tuesday, but by the time I got to Wednesday, I was like, okay, I can do this over the weekend. But because I cheated yesterday, I have struggled today, and I mean bad. From drinking my water, I even came home and ate some chips. I know better than that, so I'm the person that I can't cheat. I have to go cold turkey and just stick with it for a while for some reason. But he's doing excellent. But me, I'm struggling.
And that's what I mentioned. Sometimes when you have things like that, it does create that desire for more of that. And it's designed that way. And the foods today have a lot of additives and things like that to make you want more and more of it. And sugar is one of those things that it feeds neurotransmitters in your mind that you do want more. And sugar actually is addictive.
Yeah,
and so,
I've heard that. Yes. I heard that it's one of the biggest addictions out there.
It is. It is. And so the more sugar you eat, the more sugar you want. And so knowing that, and, you can moderate that. You can change up the recipes to things that you do like and have them with less sugar and things like that.
So would you kind of relate a sugar, and this might be a little extreme, but this is how I look at it. Kind of like a person that's addicted to like a drug. Does that make sense? Because I'm a sugar person, and when I eat, I go all in. I mean, not like one candy bar, it's like two, and then I go get something else, a piece of cake. So I'm that sugar fanatic, and my body just has to have it, no matter what. If something's not going right, I'm like, go get you some sugar. So that's why I was asking, is that kind of like someone that's trying to, because I've been trying to wean myself off, and it's hard. You get headaches, you go through this part where you just feel like you can't function because I did not get that sugar.
It is very similar to drug addiction, or to like cigarettes are an addiction.
Wow.
It feeds those neurotransmitters. There are different types of sweeteners that you can use that sometimes lessen that effect. I'm not an advocate for artificial sweeteners, so to speak, but learning your triggers and knowing, like, some people can have, one piece of like Halloween candy, the little bitty tiny one, and be good. That's not me.
That's not me.
Right.
So I can't start, and I have to portion it out. If I'm gonna have it, I'm gonna say, okay, Tamika, you can't eat one. You have to have, and I have to say, all right, these 4, that's it. After that, no more, and I have to cut myself off.
So it's definitely a discipline that you have to put in practice when you indulge, Monica.
And know that when you eat it, it's going to make you want more. But there are things you can do to kind of cut that back, like following any sweets with water and things like that.
Okay. You needed that one right there. You needed that. So follow with some water next time, girl. That's gonna help you out. But
Because it'll make you feel more full.
Okay. Real quick, you told me that you listened to our podcast about sea moss.
I did.
Okay. Before we jump off into these pillars, because we're gonna go there, that's gonna be the finale of this show. That's gonna bring this all to life. But the sea moss, have you ever did any research on the sea moss, or do you know give us any positive or anything that you can say about that?
I have. Sea moss is good in that it supplies multiple nutrients that we need and minerals. It's not a cure-all.
Right.
It's not a cure-all. It's not going to fix everything that's wrong, but it is a natural way to get those things. It's like a multivitamin.
Okay.
Pretty much.
Okay.
And so it's a great supplement, but I wouldn't say, if you take sea moss, you're going to have all this is going to be fixed in this and this and this. You mentioned that you stopped taking a lot of medicines. Did you stop taking the medicines after you talked to your doctor?
Nah, I go to my doctor in about a week to check on what's going on with my body. So I go in next week to get my blood work drawn and everything. So I'm following up with him. I've stopped taking certain things like the cholesterol medicine because my cholesterol has dropped.
Okay.
My A1C, every time I check my sugar, it has dropped. So I stopped taking the metformin. I still take certain medications. This my diabetic medication, but the metformin is the one that I did stop. I have to put that out there, and the cholesterol medicine, because I've been seeing great results. But it's also from what we're going to talk about what I've been putting in my body. Okay, so that's why I've been watching everything that I put in my body. She knows I try my best. I do an intermittent fasting during the day. I take my sea moss in the morning, intermittent fasting, and then when I do eat something, it's around 12 or 1, I eat fruits, vegetables, and nuts. Then I may eat at nighttime with salmon, sweet potato, and asparagus, something like that. So I do that pretty much throughout the whole week.
Okay, one thing that I don't advocate is stopping medicines before talking to your doctor. Put these things in action and then go in, see your doctor, and have that discussion. This is what I'm doing now. I am sleeping well. I'm eating well. I'm doing all of these things. What does my blood work look like? How do you think I can decrease my dose? Because I am a big proponent of using the lowest effective dose of medicines. Mm-hmm. A lot of times people just go up and up and up, but sometimes you just need the lowest effective dose. And I'm a big advocate that you don't stop your medicines before you talk to your doctor to make sure. Because when you start and stop a medicine, it can make it harder for that medicine to work for you the next time. Then you have to go to something stronger to work.
Okay.
So it's important to put these things in action and then check in with your doctor, see how you're doing, and then get on the same page with that physician who's there to take care of you, and make sure that it's okay for you to stop that medicine. They may say, okay, well, you don't need the dose that you were on previously, but you need a lower dose. And then in 6 months, if we continue with this trend, we'll be able to come off the medicine completely. And in that time, you would have built what's called a habit and not just something that you're starting. So you want to make sure that you have consistency and you're able to maintain those things.
Gotcha.
Okay, Dr. Chisholm.
She just rained on my whole program right there. She just put me under the bus, ran over me, and all the
I just
above.
want what's best for you.
And I totally agree. That's why I did make an appointment to go get my blood work drawn and everything. And I'm not going to tell him that I've stopped taking the metformin until he gives me back my blood work. When he gives me back my blood work, if it's better or worse, then I will explain to him what I did. Okay. Is that okay? I'm not putting you on the spot. I can't do that to you.
I am an advocate for being
right.
totally upfront.
All
Let
right.
them know that, you stopped it. Let them know how long you've been off of it, because sometimes those numbers reflect, like an A1C, for instance.
Absolutely.
It reflects a 3-month period.
Right.
So depending on how long ago you stopped that medicine, it's going to affect that.
It's been about 3 months.
Okay. So let him know, these last 3 months I haven't taken it, and this is what it's showing.
Okay. All right. So I want to jump off into this. We have 4 key pillars of mental wellness and mental illness prevention.
Yes.
When you brought this to me, and like I say, you all, we talked to a lot of psychiatrists and a lot of counselors, but this one really struck a nerve with me because of what I've been going through with my personal journey. So, Tamika, I'm gonna let you dive off into this real quick, and then we're gonna jump in when we can. But we're gonna let you give a lot of this information out real quick, so the people can really hear what I want them to hear from you tonight.
Okay, there are 4 key pillars to mental wellness. One is sleep, nutrition, exercise, and stress reduction. And stress reduction also has in it mindfulness, social connections, all of those kind of things to help us both reduce and eliminate stress. The first pillar is sleep hygiene. What is sleep hygiene? Sleep hygiene are practices that you have to ensure good sleep. So do you have a bedtime routine to let your body know, hey, it's time to get ready to go to sleep? Or do you just fall asleep on the couch, scroll on your phone in the bed until it's time to go to sleep? It's important to, not have caffeine within the 2 hours of going to sleep. It's important to turn off blue lights and not scroll on your phone in the bed.
Wow.
It's important to have a routine so that your body knows, okay, I'm getting ready to go to bed. So, doing those things, trying to go to bed at the same time each day helps. What people don't know is that lack of sleep can lead to mental health conditions such as depression, anxiety, and even mania and bipolar. So if someone goes several nights without sleep, that is a big, and they feel like they don't need any sleep, that's a big indication that they may have some form of bipolar. If they are going without sleep and they are feeling very bad about it, and it can cause you to have heightened anxiety if you aren't real rested. The body recuperates at night when we're sleeping. And if you don't give it that chance, you can have depression, anxiety, all sorts of things can happen without sleep.
Oh, wow.
So it's a practice that we need to have to go to sleep.
Yeah, we need to tell our body, and you need to try and go to sleep every night around the same time and try and wake up every morning around the same time within a 1 to 2 hour window, because we all lead really busy lives, and the weekdays you're running here and there, and you want to kind of sleep in on the weekends sometime, and that's okay, but in moderation. Don't get up every morning at 6 o'clock and then sleep till, noon every weekend. The body will feel very fatigued if you stay in bed that long.
Wow.
Yeah. So setting that time.
Look at your face.
And I'm speaking to myself as well, because I need to have these things going for myself as well. Sometimes I'm tired on the weekend. I'm like, I have done all I can do, and I just want an extra hour. But I've noticed when I do take extra time on the weekend and I sleep in late, you don't have as much energy during the day. And so setting yourself up with a sleep regimen so that, every night before you get ready to go to sleep, wash your face, do a little self-care, do something for yourself to make yourself feel good, relaxed, and get ready to go to bed.
Well, somebody's work schedule, I'm not going to name any names, it does not allow us to have a regimen at all because it gets off at different times of the night. And so I'm up making sure his food is prepared because that's another factor. He has to eat late because, like I say, he doesn't eat during the daytime. So once he get home at night, he's ready to eat. And then it's bedtime and it's right back up. So we don't have a regimen at all. I don't know if we will ever have a regimen. Probably once we retire and in our elderly age.
A regimen doesn't have to be hard and fast rules, but it can be, before we go to sleep, we are going to take 15 minutes to turn off blue lights, have some quiet time, sit down, read, relax before you go to bed. It doesn't have to be this big ritual. It just needs to be something that lets your body know, hey, all right, I'm getting ready to go to bed. And one thing I like to do too, if you're a very anxious person, is to put a notepad beside your bed. If you constantly think of things when you lay down, scribble it all down on that notepad, and that way it's there. You won't forget it. You don't have to think about it at night. You can just scribble it all down. It's on your night table. When you get up in the morning, you have your list of things that you need to do or accomplish.
So none that Facebook scrolling and Instagram and TikTok before you go to bed.
At least 30 minutes to an hour before you get in bed, you need to let that go.
Did you hear that, Mr. Chisholm?
I heard that.
It's a hard practice to let go.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm praying that they hear us out there, you all. Back to the pillars, Tamika.
Yeah. The second pillar is nutrition. And like Teddy's been saying, he's eating for fueling his body. And so eating for enjoyment versus fueling your body, making sure that you get the key nutrients are so important. You want to have natural nutrition anytime you can over synthetic supplements. That's very important. You want to have moderation in what you're eating. We talked about that a little while ago. When you choose diets like keto and intermittent fasting, you want to make sure it's something that's sustainable. You don't want to jump on every fad that comes along and then change. Your body won't know how to react to that. So it's important that you have sustainable practices. Intermittent fasting is great if you can sustain that. I actually follow a little modified intermittent fasting myself, very similar to what Teddy does. And I don't follow it quite as strictly on the weekends. I tend to eat more meals on the weekends because I'm spending time with family and stuff. But through the week, I eat I'll have my tea in the morning, and then around 11 o'clock, I'll have like some nuts or something like that. Around 2, I'll have another little light meal of maybe some vegetables, and then I'll have dinner. And
no snacks?
I try not to snack. My goal is not to snack, but every now and again, snacks come in. Usually they come in after dinner because I'm very specific about during the day. I don't have a lot of time for that. But snacking is okay. Like my nuts, that's a snack. I'll have like just a handful of nuts, and that's my snack. And then I'll have my little vegetables, and that's a snack. And then I'll have my one meal.
Okay.
So those count to me as snacks. Another pillar is exercise. Exercise is so important. And it doesn't have to be like I'm paying to go to the gym or anything like that. I tell my patients all the time, just turn on music in your room, dance for 15 minutes. That is 15 minutes of cardio without any cost. It releases endorphins and it's heart healthy. So that's a very important thing, is making sure that you move daily. We want people to get 10,000 steps a day with these sedentary jobs. That's not always possible, but you want to be able to get out and move as much as you can. And then the last pillar is stress management versus stress elimination. And there are several things that go into that, such as mindfulness, such as in worship, meditation, breathing exercises, having social connections, being exposed to nature, and then there's when do you go to therapy. Personally, I think everyone should have a therapist from the time that they're little. A therapist doesn't mean that something's wrong. It's just someone to talk to that's not family, that can provide you with insight to how you're dealing with things and help you better regulate your emotions. If people were able to regulate their emotions, we wouldn't have so much road rage and school shootings and things.
So I want to go back to the exercising.
Okay.
So how crucial is this? I mean, you said that you can take a 5-10 minutes and dance.
She said 15, so you weren't listening real good. 15 minutes of dancing.
Okay.
Yes.
Like you gonna do the dancing. No, I'm messing with you.
But I do have the Fitbit, because she said he always makes fun of my little Fitbit, but I do get my 10,000 steps in a day. So Theodore, did you hear that?
I
this
heard
little
that.
Gadget on my arm actually works.
But my thing is I try to do weight training. That's my go-to. How do you feel about weight training versus, or it's just all correlates together? You just say, just do something.
Do something. Yeah.
Okay.
Because so many of us, and it has to be outside of what you normally do. Like if you normally walk, you stand up all day at work, your body becomes accustomed to that. You have to do something outside of what you normally do. Use muscles that you don't normally move. Say, for instance, if you stand up all day, throw some squats in every hour or so. Just do 2 or 3 squats every hour. That will help to change it.
So in other words, you heard that doing something different will help you out more. You can't just walk all the time, because your body will your body get used to that?
Walking, if it's a part of your normal day, but if you're walking for exercise, that's different. So you can use walking as an exercise, and you don't have to do anything more than walking.
Clarity though, not using walking as your everyday thing, saying that, because that's what they're doing. They're taking their Fitbit and they're just walking around the building doing their job. That is a great baseline, because some people's jobs only get 2,000 steps a day. So you have better cardiac health and conditioning. I'm not going to necessarily say health. You have better cardiac conditioning than someone who sits in a chair all day. Okay.
Doing those 10,000 steps, just walking around at your job.
Well, see, what he don't realize, I put mine on as soon as my feet hit the floor. So it's recording me running around, folding towels, washing dishes, up and down the steps. So, and then when I get to work.
That is not working out. I'm sorry. I'm not going to, come on now. You got to give me a realistic approach.
Tamika, this is before work, Mr. Chisholm.
It is not working out, but it is conditioning.
Thank you. Something is better than nothing. He wants me to come down here and use the weights and do all these different things every day. And that's not something that I want to do.
If you don't enjoy it, you aren't going to do it. So that's not for you. You might like, walking in the neighborhood, doing, going skating once a week or something like that. Anything. Movement is important. But if it's not something that you enjoy, then it's a chore and you're not going to do it.
Thank you.
All right. I'm gonna get off that topic, because I totally feel, and this is just me personally speaking. They say as women get older, that their muscle tone, they lose a lot of muscle. And this is the only reason why I pick on her with this. They say the muscle tone is something that's needed in women as they grow older because of osteoporosis, certain things like that. And that could help them be better equipped as they get older, because it's going to help, because that's how we lose our weight quicker, because we work the muscle. And that's the only reason I'm throwing this out there. I'm not throwing this out there to make it I just want to make sure that we understand that walking around and folding clothes is not working out.
I hear you.
That's all I want to make.
Muscle tone and weights, even if it's small, like
water bottle,
absolutely, that kind of thing is good. And you need to use different muscles, like I was mentioning. You need to use different muscles. It's very important to do that. If you do the same thing every day, it's not going to create the change that you're looking for. Men lose muscle tone as well. I do want to point that out.
Okay.
And weights help strengthen the bones. Weight training helps strengthen bones.
And that's all I've been trying and to get this from a professional. Now you every time you hear from a professional, you do better. And that's all I want you to do, is do just a little bit better with a little more weight training, Mark. That's all I ask. So thank you, Tamika, on that. You look like you got something else you want to say to that.
I just want to say, it doesn't have to be weight training like, okay, I'm going to go in there, I'm going to take these barbells. There are different types of things that you can do, to make weight training work for you. And there are tons of YouTube videos on how to make it work for you.
Okay.
That's great.
But using your muscles to like lift and strength training is important for bone strength.
Okay.
I'm so glad we have you with all these different aspects, from a doctor, a nursing point of view, and a mental wellness. So we're the difficulties we had on this station today, y'all, this show goes by super fast, y'all. And I know we didn't get out everything that we want to get out, Tamika. So getting to the bottom of the list, it says creating a sustainable habit. And you talked a little bit about that. Can you expound on that a little bit for me?
Mm-hmm, certainly. Starting small, building consistent routines like we talked about. You have to make sure that it's something that you're able to stick to. Creating a personal mental health plan. Saying, this is where I want to be in a year. Having those goals and starting small and building. Those are very important. Balancing self-care and professional support. We touched on that some as well. One of the big things I don't want us to end without touching on is when to seek professional help. Mm-hmm. If you have anxiety or depression that doesn't go away after you've instituted these things, it's okay to go for help. It doesn't mean you'll be on medicine forever. It may not even mean that you need medicine. It may just mean that you need different resources. There are support systems out there. There are podcasts out there that can help. And one is Black Girl Self-Care. They're doing a conversation, I believe this evening, for people who are experiencing stress with the election that's coming up. Mm. It's just a way to build social connections and to talk and to kind of go through this election period and know that you have some support out there. The other thing is I can't talk about mental health without talking about police versus the crisis line. And the crisis line is 988, not 911. If someone is experiencing a mental health crisis, 988 is the number, not 911, especially in the African American community. It's so important that we have someone on the scene that can deal with mental health crisis.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Okay. I kind of want to go back to the sleep regimen. So if you have small kids and you work a job, how do you, incorporate that into your day? You got kids in school, you got to help with homework, got to get their bags, got to make sure their clothes are ironed, and then, as well as cook dinner, So as a mom, our sleep regimen is just sometimes I say out the door.
That's because as moms, oftentimes we put ourselves last and we don't prioritize ourselves. That's why making that personal mental health plan is so important. We put the kids down when they're supposed to go down for sleep. We fix meals that accommodate everybody. You know, you got the kids' meal, the dad's meal, everybody's stuff. And so it's very important that you prioritize yourself too and let your family know, hey, the kids are going down at 9 and whatever else has to be done, mom is getting ready and she's starting her bedtime at 10:15 so she can be in the bed by 11, however long it takes you. You know, if you only have 15 minutes, mom's going to start her bed routine at, quarter to 11, and that's my time for me. Whatever you need, come to me before then because I'm starting my regimen and prioritizing yourself. It's not selfish, it's self-care.
Okay.
Self-care. Can you do it?
Can you do it?
I'm trying my best, and like she said to you, Tamika, our schedules are so conflicting. I'm up every day at 5, just about, and don't go to bed sometimes till 11, 12, midnight, and that's a daily routine. I think, does your body get used to those things? Do you feel like that's a normalcy?
You're getting 5 hours of sleep, which probably isn't enough, but that doesn't stop you from having that sleep hygiene, good sleep hygiene, and making sure that you prioritize putting away blue light objects, setting aside time to, tell your body it's time to go to bed. I'm going to do these things every night before I go to bed, and getting in bed with the intent of going to sleep. And another thing, I say only use the bed for sleep and sex. You don't
I like that.
You don't have,
Should've known he likes that answer right there.
laying in the bed for watching TV or, pulling up your laptop in the bed doing your work. The bed is for sleep and sex, and that's it.
Real quick, because this is about to come to an end. You talked about that blue light. Okay, what does that blue light actually do to
The blue
you?
light activates portions in the brain that turn on different neurotransmitters, and it tells the brain, hey, it's time to go. It's time to go. And it kind of draws you in. You know how you can get sucked into scrolling and looking at things? That's what it does.
Wow. Okay.
So your body don't know to go to sleep. It is it's wired.
It turns on, and it's like, okay, we got to do this and do this.
Wow.
That's something that we're going to piggyback off of that one tomorrow on the show, because that right there alone, I feel that is one of the things that's destroying America. Black people, African Americans, Caucasians. This whole social media thing and these phones have taken it to a whole nother level. And when I tell you that one right there stood out the most for me, the nutrition as well, okay, stood out, but I'm gonna do better, because I can find myself every time I go to bed, I literally have to have my phone in my hand just to shut the night down and make sure that everything is okay. I may be reading some scripture. It's several things, because I like to listen to a lot of, preachers preach. I like to listen to a lot of things. So you saying, somebody told me actually you need to make sure that your phone is not even in the bedroom.
That's something that some people do. I mean, I use mine for my alarm clock, so it's on the nightstand, but it's important to turn that off. And that's why I said, write down what it is you want to do the next day. So that's there. You won't forget. It's right there. There is you can listen to soft music to go to bed. You can read a paper book, because that doesn't have the blue light.
Right.
You can read your scriptures in a paper book with a book light. Those are fine, but that phone with the moving light and things like that really keeps you awake.
Even the TV as well, correct?
Even the TV as well.
Because we got these smart TVs and different things that do all this high tech stuff. So.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. To make it amazing information. I see you have a couple of references that you sent to me. Do you want to talk a little about any of these references down here that you gave me?
These are just references to let you know that these things, although they sound really simple, they are evidence-based practices that say the amount of sleep you get, the, going outside, getting sunlight, exercising, all of those things definitely affect your mental health. And that's why I call it my 4 pillars or my baseline of mental health.
Okay, and that's even what for children, because it's
Even for
important for them to
children.
get outside, get some sunshine, get the exercise as well,
Yep.
and get them a bedtime regimen, and not go to bed with their iPads. And
They should not go to bed with their iPad. Definitely children should have it outside of their room.
oh wow, okay.
We got some work to do. You hear that now? And do you think it's ever a time that it's too late to start with a teenager? Because
Teenagers are going to be more resistant, but if you let them know why, teenagers, I find they want to know why we have to do it this way. And if you don't say because I told you so, say this is what we're going to do and this is the result you're going to get from it. They tend to come around.
Okay.
to make a conclusion, because like I told you, this thing was gonna go by fast. I'm gonna give you a conclusion because me and Monica, we're gonna piggyback off of this tomorrow. Okay, but I'm gonna give you the stage to take a conclusion of what you gave us, and just give us some of the key things that you want to talk about before we end this show tonight.
Okay. So the main thing I want to drive home this evening is how important it is to prioritize yourself in this busy world. There's so many demands on all of us. Mm-hmm. It's important to prioritize your sleep, nutrition, movement, and reducing or eliminating stress where we can. And having that objective to prioritize self and those healthy habits can make a world of difference in your mental health. Thank you again for having me.
Absolutely. Monica, you have anything you want to say before we leave?
I just want to hope everybody practice what we learned today, especially the sleep regimen, even the exercise. I'm going to try my best to do better. Stress reduction, all of that plays a part in this holistic, learning about this holistic on tonight.
Yes. And the thing I'm going to do, I'm definitely going to get with my doctor and make sure that everything is going properly the way it should. Like I say, I didn't do it not knowing that I was going to get my blood drawn. I did this just to see when I go get my blood drawn, is it better? Because that's the only reason why I went with this approach to me. I don't want you to be over there like, boy, you ain't finna get my doctor taken from me, telling me don't take no medicine. Nah, I didn't mean to do you like that. But okay. I definitely appreciate you tonight coming on. I feel like we can get more in depth into a lot of these things. Maybe one time you'll come back and just be with us, because like I said, we had some technical difficulties tonight, but I just thank God for getting out what we did. And I want you all to know that if you didn't hear it on the radio tonight, you can go to Sacrificial Conversations, and it will be posted on Wednesday, where you can hear the whole interview without the technical difficulties, and it will be edited to the best of our ability. But we want to say thank you all for coming. Tamika, I pray that your life is just amazingly broad, and you're blessed in so many ways. Are you looking for clients, anything, or any particular?
Not right now for my wellness practice. I anticipate opening a wellness practice the first part of the year, where I will be taking clients in and helping them to manage incorporating wellness into their life. So that's coming down the pike, but I am available at Bella Jace if you have mental illness conditions that need treatment. Bella Jace in Brentwood, Tennessee. You can Google it, and that's where I am.
Well, we're going to speak that business into existence.
Yes.
That wellness business is on its way, and we just want to say thank you once again. Thank you. And you have been listening to WFTB 104.1 FM. We're sorry about the technical difficulties tonight, but we will get that taken care of. We love you all. You all have a blessed night, and be blessed. I told y'all it was going to be a good conversation. Sacrificial Conversations. Did you subscribe yet? Hit that like button. You might get something that's gonna help your life. Y'all be blessed.